It's another Saturday afternoon on SABC One, and another reminder that the football doesn't end, only the matches do. And I say that because there's so much still to talk about. And hello, Mzansi, welcome to it. It's Game On, and I am Caesar Mapena, joined by Jerry Skosana as we look at what's happening locally. Player movements is something we'll touch on, including the end-of-season awards. Jerry, good to be in your company. Let's start with a few big ones here. Yusuf Mart, Kaizer Chiefs captain, played a huge role over the last few seasons. He's amongst the players that, well, it's been confirmed he's leaving Kaizer Chiefs. Your thoughts on his time at Kaizer Chiefs?
Thanks, Caesar. What a difficult one. Honestly, if you look at the performance of Kaizer Chiefs the past season, Mart was an outstanding player. I mean, for Chiefs to win the Nedbank, I think Mart contributed a lot. I don't think maybe it's because of his brilliancy, maybe the Austrian team wanted him, but I think maybe it's because of what maybe Chiefs are going to get out of that transaction that is going to be happening. So I think Matt is not just going to Chiefs because Chiefs thinks it's a surplus to minus.
Not just leaving Chiefs because of that.
It's just a transaction, I believe, that can make Chiefs release Matt as it is.
That's one side of Soweto. The other side, big news, a young man we didn't know much about this time last season. A young man who's come in, played a huge role in Orlando Pirates, coming in midway point through the season to a point where he played a huge role in the Champions League as well. Nkota, gone out to Saudi Arabia. By the time he left, he played in the Champions League semi-final. He's made his debut in Bafana. Quite a future ahead of him. Big loss for Pirates. And what does the future hold for Nkota?
Big loss. Yes, good for the boy. I think better income as well,
most importantly.
At least being exposed away from South Africa. That's where maybe gaining a lot of experience coming back maybe to help Bafana. But I think for me, people were always looking at Relebohile Mofokeng, So Rele was the one that everybody was talking about leaving Orlando Pirates, and boom, all of a surprise, Nkota. So I think also for Pirates, maybe it's something which we might not know what's happening inside the boardroom. But I think for me, this was the boy that I thought maybe needed another season just to make sure that he bolster his performance to everybody and making sure that whatever that he did in the past season, it's a continuity of him doing it. But, well, what a big loss to Pirates. But also, this is where you're looking at. What is it that was offered at Pirates to release the most consistent youngster that you're looking to build a team upon? So, well, let's just leave it with the people there in the boardroom to say, well, good for Nkota, but Pirates has lost big time in terms of this youngster. But let's hope really won't be stuck now because he's the one that everybody was thinking he was going to be leaving Pirates. But I think he's going to stay over because Nkota has jumped him over.
Well, it's worth remembering, in the off-season, the last off-season, we had Peter Musimane as a guest here. He did mention that South African players mustn't only look to go to Europe. They can also go to North Africa, which we've seen a few players doing, we've seen coaches doing as well. They could also go to Saudi Arabia. And he said it's not just about playing good football. He said they play good quality football there. Also, the money they get there is generational wealth, which can help their families in surviving a long time going forward beyond just their current generation. So that's worth noting as well. Congratulations to Nkota for that. Let's switch focus and look at the nominees. End of season nominees. There's a few we shall touch on here that we need to talk about. Firstly, footballer of the season. Lucas Ribeiro, no surprise there. Relebohile Mofokeng, no surprise there. The big surprise, the contender for footballer of the season, what a comeback for Makgalwa.
Wow. I mean, if I have to be honest, and then we're saying maybe we looking at the sentiments of the players, not the club itself. Because if you come and say Sundowns player, Orlando Pirates player, and then you're looking at the Sekhukhune United player, people will come and say, no, we're looking at Sundowns, we're looking at Pirates. But for me, honestly, if anything needs to be given, I would just say Makgalwa deserves to be the player of the season. Remember, that's the player that for me, he was in my PSL 11. So now you can tell now, when you know football, you know some of the things that you question me about saying, Mara Makgalwa, he's now a contender, like a nominee for player of the year. So I think for me in that one, it's a difficult one, but I think Mofokeng would walk away with it. That's
Mofokeng.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mofokeng.
That's interesting because he's also been nominated more than any other player, Mofokeng. So he'll have many opportunities to win it here, but that'll be an interesting one, the football of the season. Now, let's also talk about the coach of the season. I like this one.
Yeah.
Because it's a tough one. Steve Barker, there from the beginning, is helped Stellenbosch go such a long way in such a short space of time in the existence of the top flight of South African football. There's also Cardoso. It's worth noting, second half of the season. And of course, Riveiro with Orlando Pirates.
People mustn't say just pick Jerry played for Orlando Pirates. Manje obviously ayishayile choice yakhe. Amaqiniso ayafuneka. Let's look at both these, like all three of them. Let me not just say both, because already, if I want to talk about Jose, much that he has done for South African football. For me, simtata simbeke what do they call this? The Carling Cup, where they played the winners, which was Makesi. You tell me how many youngsters featured in that game. You look at Kaizer Chiefs, youngsters that we thought they were not doing good.
That's a good point.
So for me, it's not about just a coach that finished third. Maybe yes, Barker can be second for me. Then you're looking at Cardoso, who's got a wealth of players where you can choose from. But for me, I'm looking at a player that came and said, we've got youngsters that are good enough that we can take somewhere. You look at Bafana as well. Players that featured there after he showcased them through the Carling Cup. So for me, coach of the season, honestly, would have to be Jose Riveiro with the job that he has done in terms of promoting these youngsters.
Another category that I find which is rather interesting but difficult to break down is the defender of the season. You've got Mduduzi Mdantsane, Muloisana, Utabo, Stellenbosch, former Sundowns youth player, Ngosinathi Sibisi, Orlando Pirates. Sibisi didn't start the season as part of the starting 11. Orlando Pirates, injuries, Munda, saw him come in maybe a little bit later on in the season, but what a season he's had as well. Tough one, this one.
Tough one, because I think Sibisi is replacing Sesane. If I have to put it like that.
Yeah.
Sesane, well, I think he was going to be in contention as well. But I think for me there, I'll just go with Kekana. I mean, his consistency, he's been there, he's done a lot. And you look at like sometimes the fatigue that comes with the playing period where he plays for Sundowns consistently, he's with Bafana. I think for me, I would choose Kekana to be the best defender.
All right, let's get your thoughts on the midfield of the season. Marcelo Allende, where Mamelodi Sundowns, you've got Sekhukhune Makgalwa, Orlando Pirates, and Teboho Mokoena. Another tough category here. You find with each person you talk to, you're told a different winner. When you win a
Well, just simple. I'll go with Allende. He's done well. Allende for me, yeah. Yes, I would maybe Makgalwa because of age, the role he played, But you look at Allende, defending, attacking, scoring goals, creative. That's where you look.
Yes, also number of games.
Number of games that he has played. So for me, yeah, I would go with Allende. Sorry to Mokoena, but yeah, Allende would be my choice.
Someone say sorry to Makgalwa as well when you consider the, number of games he's played, the huge influence he had out at the Orlando Pirates. It's a really tough one, including the young player of the season with the likes of Mohau Nkota from Sundowns, Mofokeng from Pirates, and Nkota from Pirates. That's a tough one as well. But we have run out of time, and we say thank you very much to Jerry Skosana. On the other side of this, Shane McGregor comes back into the fold, and we look at the FIFA Club World Cup. Haven't spoken to Shane since last week. Let's get his thoughts with Chelsea being crowned champions.